These stories are based on real-life incidents. Names, locations, and certain details have been changed to protect privacy. The purpose of this content is for awareness and informational storytelling only. We do not intend to target or defame any individual, group, or organization.
Hey everyone! Have you ever felt like the weight of who everyone thinks you are is crushing the real you inside? Like you're trapped in a box labeled perfect, but all you want to do is break free and just breathe? That's exactly where I was at 14, as a high school freshman. And let me tell you, it nearly broke me. Stick around, because today I'm sharing my story, the raw, unfiltered truth about being the smart girl, and how it turned my life into a nightmare of anxiety, burnout, and feeling like nothing more than a tool for everyone else. If you've ever struggled with labels, perfectionism, or just feeling invisible, this one's for you. We're diving deep into the emotional roller coaster, the social pitfalls, and the lessons I learned the hard way. By the end, you'll see why shedding that label was the best thing I ever did for myself. Hi, I'm Gina, and back on February 22, 2025, I poured my heart out in a journal entry that changed everything for me. I was just starting high school, and honestly, I thought it was going to be this fresh start, a chance to reinvent myself, make new friends, maybe even discover who I really am beyond the grades and the tests. But nope. From day one, that old label followed me like a shadow I couldn't shake, the smart girl. It sounds harmless, right? Maybe even flattering? But trust me, it was anything but. It became my prison, defining every single part of my life until I didn't even recognize myself anymore. Let me paint the picture for you. This wasn't just about school. It was about losing my identity, battling inner demons, and fighting to reclaim who I truly wanted to be. Let me take you back to middle school, where it all really kicked off. I was that kid who lived for straight A's. I'd study for hours on end, poring over textbooks, flashcards, and online resources until my eyes burned. I'd ace nearly every test with a perfect 100. And yeah, I was proud of it at first. It made me feel special, like I had something going for me in a world where everyone else seemed to have their own talents, sports, art, popularity. But somewhere along the way, it turned toxic. I started hating myself if I got anything less than perfect. A 99? That was a disaster in my mind. I'd beat myself up over it, replaying every mistake in my head like a bad movie on loop, questioning my worth, wondering if I was even capable anymore. It was unrealistic. I know that now, looking back with a clearer perspective. But back then, it was my whole world. Grades weren't just numbers on a report card. They were my purpose, my reason for getting up in the morning, my shield against feeling ordinary. By the time high school rolled around, I was so burnt out, you guys. Completely exhausted, mentally and emotionally drained. I wanted to stop caring altogether. Just quit the whole perfection game cold turkey. But how do you do that when it's been your identity for years? My life was built around it. The study routines, the late nights, the constant pressure. I'd ask myself these big existential questions that kept me up at night. Go to college for what? Why bother with all this stress? Did I even want to go there in the first place? Or was it just what everyone expected? The only reason I kept pushing through the burnout was to make my dad happy, to see that pride in his eyes when he bragged about my achievements to family and friends. It was like my validation came entirely from outside sources, and without it, I felt empty, purposeless, adrift in a sea of uncertainty. No direction, no real passion, just this endless cycle of stress, exhaustion, and self-doubt that seemed impossible to escape. And the anxiety, oh man, it was constant, like a shadow that followed me everywhere. I was anxious all the time, from the moment I woke up to the second my head hit the pillow. It manifested in physical ways too, a knot in my stomach that never untied, sweaty palms during class, a racing heart before every quiz. I'd want to cry nearly every day, feeling the tears well up inside, but they never came. It was like my body was too numb from holding it all in, too conditioned to suppress emotions to maintain that perfect facade. I had these bad thoughts swirling in my head, dark stuff I was too scared to tell anyone about, fears of failure, feelings of inadequacy, even intrusive worries that something was fundamentally wrong with me. Who would believe me if I opened up? You, the smart girl? Someone like you couldn't have problems like that. That's what I imagined they'd say, dismissing my pain because of the label. Intelligence was supposed to protect me from all this emotional turmoil, right? Wrong. If anything, it just isolated me more, making me feel like an outlier who didn't deserve sympathy. I started self-diagnosing because I didn't know where else to turn for help. I'd spend hours online reading about anxiety disorders, OCD, ADHD, trying to pin down what was going on inside my head. I'd worry about random diseases too, like way too many, from rare illnesses to everyday ailments, convincing myself I had symptoms that weren't even there. I knew I had unhealthy obsessions, fixating on small details until they consumed me. I was glued to my phone way too much, scrolling endlessly as a distraction, which only made things worse. And sleep? What was that? I'd toss and turn for hours, replaying the day's events, stressing over tomorrow's assignments, waking up groggy and even more anxious. All of this fed into my rock-bottom self-esteem. I felt ugly, inside and out, like a total loner who didn't belong anywhere. I dressed like I was still 10 years old, in baggy clothes with no sense of style, no effort to fit in. Hygiene wasn't great either. I'd skip showers or forget to brush my hair, and I'd tell myself, maybe that's why no one ever calls me pretty. It all created this vicious loop where I felt worthless unless I was proving my smarts, but even that wasn't fulfilling anymore. Socially, it was an absolute disaster. In high school, people only saw me as smart, not athletic like the jocks, not pretty like the popular crowd, no buzzing social life with parties and hangouts, just the brainiac in the corner. And that label, it turned me into a benchmark for everyone else, a human yardstick they used to measure their own success. When my friends bombed a test, their parents would ask, well, what did A get? Like I was the gold standard they had to live up to or surpass. It made me feel objectified, like a measuring stick instead of a person with feelings. I started hiding my grades obsessively to avoid the spotlight. I'd check them at least 30 times a day on the school portal, but always alone, in secret, away from prying eyes. Sometimes I'd even lie about my grades, just to dodge the inevitable conversations and judgments.
If I got a perfect 100, the reaction was always the same. Of course you did. Eye rolls, dismissive tones, like I was bragging just by existing and succeeding. It made me feel like the annoying smart girl who couldn't help but show off. But if I slipped up, say, a 98 on a tough exam, oh boy, I'd never hear the end of it. Oh my gosh, A got a 98%. I did better than her. Or, see, I told you it was hard if even she failed it. Failed? A 98 is failing now? It stung so bad. like a slap in the face every time. They'd say these things like they were compliments, but they weren't. Not when it was all I ever heard, day in and day out. It reinforced that I wasn't a friend or a classmate with a full personality. I was the smart girl. And that meant I was fair game for comparison, criticism, and even a bit of schadenfreude when I faltered. Worse than the comparisons was the outright exploitation. People used me, straight up, treating me like a free tutoring service or a cheat sheet. It started back in middle school and never let up. In 7th grade, there was this girl, R, who I thought was a potential friend. But her texts were always transactional, never about hanging out or sharing laughs. It was, hey, what's the answer to math problem 5? Or send me your science essay so I can compare mine. And I do it every single time, without fail, because I wanted a friend so badly, craved that connection in a sea of isolation. How stupid was that? I was essentially buying friendship with my homework and knowledge, only to realize later it was all one-sided. In 8th grade, even teachers piled on without realizing the damage. My Spanish teacher once joked in front of the whole class that I'd done so well on a quiz, I might as well skip the unit test altogether. She meant it as praise, a lighthearted compliment on my abilities, but it just reinforced the label in front of everyone. The class laughed, but I felt exposed, like my smarts were on display for entertainment value, not genuine appreciation. It made me shrink in my seat, wishing I could disappear. High school ramped up the exploitation to a whole new level. There was IK, a girl I couldn't stand because of how she operated. She'd always corner me after tests, asking for my scores with this fake sweetness. Then, if she beat me, she'd broadcast it to the whole class. Hey everyone, I got higher than Gina on this one. But if I did better, absolute crickets. She'd stay silent, avoiding eye contact. It was so manipulative, and it made me dread every assessment. And then there were others like JS and AK, always hitting me up for help. Can I see your notes? Explain this concept to me? I'd share everything, explain patiently whatever they needed. But now, I've stopped replying to JS entirely. I can't help but wonder if she's really that smart on her own, or if her grades were just me propping her up all along. It hurts to think about how many friends were just users in disguise. I tried so hard to branch out and find a new path, to escape the academic trap. I joined drama club thinking maybe acting could be my thing, a way to express emotions I'd bottled up. I started piano lessons too, practicing scales and simple songs in the hopes it'd spark joy. But even that was fake, calculated. I didn't love it. I wasn't passionate about performing or music. I was just padding my resume for college applications, checking off boxes for extracurriculars to look good on paper to admissions officers. It all felt so hollow, so devoid of real meaning. What I really wanted, what I craved more than anything, was to be seen for something else. Anything else beyond my brain. I've never been called pretty, not once in my life. Or a good friend, the kind who listens and supports without expecting anything back. Even my few close friends, they still slip in those "the smart girl" references casually, like it's no big deal. But it is. It hurts deep down, reminding me I'm not fully seen. Right now, as I sit on my bedroom floor typing this out, words just flowing out like a dam breaking, I realize I used to dream of being a writer. Back in elementary school, I'd scribble stories in notebooks, creating worlds and characters that felt alive. Maybe that's my way out, channeling this pain into something creative, something that's mine. But until I fully embrace that, I'm begging you,
If you know a girl like me, or if you're someone who uses labels without thinking, stop calling her the smart girl. Once in a while, fine, if it's genuine, but don't let it define her entire existence. I want to be known as the kind one, always there with a smile or a helping hand. The funny one, cracking jokes that light up the room. The cool one, with interests and hobbies that surprise people. Maybe even the pretty one, just once, feeling confident in my own skin. Because when you call me that over and over, it feels like the opposite of a compliment. It's reductive, stripping away layers of who I am. It means I'm nothing to you beyond my utility. Nothing but a tool for your comparisons, your homework help, your ego boosts. Nothing but the smart girl. And that's a lonely place to be.
Whew. Sharing all that feels heavy, but also incredibly freeing. Looking back now, with some distance, I see how perfectionism stole my joy, bit by bit. It wasn't about learning for the sake of knowledge anymore. It was about proving myself over and over, chasing an unattainable ideal. And the anxiety, it was my body's way of screaming, enough, this isn't sustainable. I wish I'd talked to someone sooner, a school counselor, a trusted adult, maybe even a therapist. Holding it in only made it worse, festering like an untreated wound. If you're going through something similar right now, whether it's academic pressure, social isolation, or just feeling lost, know you're not alone. Reach out, even if it's scary. You don't have to carry it all on your shoulders.
Let's think about it like this to really drive it home. Imagine a beautiful antique clock, all intricate gears and exquisite craftsmanship, polished to shine. But everyone around it just uses it as a paperweight, holding down stacks of papers on a desk without a second thought. Its real purpose, telling time accurately, chiming the hours with melodic tones, adding elegance to a room, gets completely ignored and unused. Over time, the internal mechanisms start to stagnate, gather dust, and eventually decay from neglect. That's exactly what happened to me. My intelligence is like those gears, complex, capable, full of potential. But when people only saw me as a tool for grades, comparisons, and academic help, my other qualities, my kindness, my humor, my unique personality, rusted away unused. And that led to the breakdown, the burnout, the isolation, the overwhelming anxiety that nearly consumed me.
If this story resonates with you, if you've ever felt trapped by a label or pushed to the brink by perfectionism, hit that like button below. Subscribe to the channel for more real, honest talks on teen life, mental health struggles, peer pressure, and finding your true voice. Drop a comment. What's a label you've had to fight against in your own life? How did you break free? Let's start a conversation. Your stories matter too. Thanks so much for listening and sticking with me through this. Remember, you're more than what people say you are. You're complex, multifaceted, and worthy of being seen for all of it. Catch you in the next video. Take care out there.